Hello, and as always, thanks for spending a few minutes with me. I'm going to continue to talk about reset, and today I'm going to talk about resetting our focus in 2024. And so my opening scripture is found in Matthew's Gospel, chapter 6, and verse 24. This is Jesus speaking. No one can serve two masters, for either he will hate the one and love the other, or he will be loyal to the one and despise the other. You cannot serve God and money. Really a great principle and truth. You know, if you're divided, then you're torn, and if you're torn, you're really not going to accomplish much. You're not going to be very productive because you're always being pulled one way or the other. And it's like being in a boat being tossed to and fro by all the circumstances or by all the wind and the waves that surround that vessel. Well, today we're going to talk about really what it means to focus and why it's so important to focus. Before I get there, let me remind you that when we reset something, what we're really looking for is a fresh start. Think of it as in rebooting your computer. You want to take it back to the original manufacturer settings. You want to get it back to where it's operable and working the way that it should. Well, we can do that with our lives. Sometimes we just, get so many things going and we have so many things on our calendar, activities and events, that we sort of get spread so thin that we're really not focused. And when we talk about focus, we're really meaning that we need to do one thing at a time. I know some of you out there believe that you're great at multitasking, but let me remind you that you're probably not as great as you think you are. I think you may have the capacity to do several things at once, but you're going to find that you're going to be much more fulfilled and fruitful if you do one thing at a time. You can think about multiple things, but I think we can only do one thing well at a time. So here we go. We're going to be talking about focus and why it's so important, because we live in a world of distractions, right? I mean, there are multitudes of things that are pulling for our attention. And whether it's the world or whether it's the temptations from the devil or whether it's our own flesh, we have to realize that we're constantly being pulled on. There's a demand to do this, to go that, to like this, to be that. And we just don't have the capacity to do it. I like what the psalmist said, one thing I desire, and that will I pursue. Well, what are the one thing that you need to be working on right now that'll bring your life back in focus and give you clarity? Because when you're focusing on something, you're going to get that clarity and you're going to remove a lot of the clutter and a lot of the distractions from our life. So what we have to do is set our heart and mind on what really matters to us and what is really true. So here's something I want to ask you. Here's 3 questions, I should put it that way, that I want you to consider. When we talk about resetting our focus, I want you to ask yourself this question. What do I have in my heart that I know I need to be focusing on? What has God put in your heart that you know you need to be focusing on? And let me maybe help you, identify that. What are you excited about? What gets you excited? Well, then that's something that you can give your attention to and you can pay attention to and you can focus on. And don't give your attention to things that you're not excited about. No matter how many people tell you to do it or ask you to do it, if you're not excited about it, it's not going to get done. It's going to be a project unkept. Number 2 is, what are you doing to prepare? Faith prepares. What are you doing to prepare about what you're excited about? And number 3 is very important. What are you doing with the distractions? What are you doing with the distractions? And what disciplines are you developing so that you can see those desires come to pass? So I want to focus on number 3 just as I close out here. And once again, consider this. What are the distractions that you need to remove in order to see the desires you have in your heart? So you're removing distractions, all right? But what are you doing that's healthy? Well, you're developing disciplines. So it's not just stopping something, it's starting something. So if you and I are going to focus more on the things of God and what God put in our heart and the good desires and preparing for those, then we have to have something in front of us that we can pay attention to. Not 10 things or 15 things, just one thing at a time. So I want to encourage you in 2024, don't get spread so thin that you're no good. Don't be, the jack of all trades and master of none. Keep your eyes on Jesus and do the things that He put in your heart to do. You'll be glad that you did, and your life will be more fulfilled and fruitful. God bless you.